Got to pull these laces out first so you don't get them caught up in the sanders or get in the way and all that stuff. I was in such a hurry to get this project started, I took the sole and the heel off without filming it. But it was no big deal, you can see. Just down to a leather midsole. Now I'm going to go around and cut all these stitches and pull this midsole up, replace the cork on the inside, and then restitch the midsole and the new kind of fine line Vibram soles. Pretty much replacing with what we got. Or what he, if anything I learned, when you start a job, you want to have a good, sharp knife that can cut real well and get the job done as easily as possible. The knife I'm using here is actually an old hacksaw blade that's just been kind of shortened and shaped a little bit. I learned this from an old shoemaker. You know, they're light, they're disposable, and they work great. And of course you got to do both right and left shoe, pretty much doing the same way. They're both in basically the same condition, which is good. Sometimes people beat up one shoe a little more than the other. It's kind of weird, but I guess if you can be right-handed, you could be right-footed, right? Kind of weird. That's kind of the stuff you think about when you're doing this kind of work. Wow, there we go. See. So we're going to start by cutting out the threads, the top thread here in that welt, and separating it from the midsole. Just got to get the knife in here, kind of right between the two, and start cutting. See, a good sharp knife helps. You can kind of hear the stitches letting go. You just gotta be careful, take your time. I'm not using any solvents to soften this up at all, so just taking it easy. Guess I could kind of pry it open a little bit too. You can see with the sole being sanded, you know, with the sole being sanded, the stitches are already, you know, cut. We're just cutting them out a little bit more. So I'm going to keep this midsole on. Just replace this kind of beat up cork in here. Give that footbed a little bit more comfort. Then I have to pull all these stitches out of the top so I don't crowd it when I restitch it. And boots that are quality made are a lot easier to fix because they're basically constructed by hand. So you just have to reverse engineer them and take them apart in the reverse of how they're put together. All right? Cool. All right. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Now you have to go through the pretty tedious process of pulling out all these stitches from the welt here. There actually is a little attachment for my Sutton machine that kind of is like a little spinning wheel with little teeth on it, and actually makes pretty quick work of this job. But of course, I don't have it. So it's like when the washing machine is broken, sometimes you just got to do a job by hand. So we got all the threads cleared out off the welt here, all the way around. You can see. All right. Gonna take all this old cork out, maybe reinforce stitch the top of this welt here. It's kind of loose, so we want to make sure that that's nice and tight. And get this guy going. Well, I use the machine to kind of sand up this welt here a little bit, roughen that up, because that's all going to be re-glued. I'm going to put some new cork on the inside. But what's really cool too is that I got a bunch of these old tools that came with some of the equipment that I bought. You know, how old is this? 100 years old? You know, it's for scraping up leather and kind of, you know, giving the glue something cool to bite in. But, you know, if this thing could tell a story, I'm sure it's been through a lot, you know. And they were built to last. You know, look at this too, this old hammer. You know, that's a for real shoemaking hammer right there. You know, no markings on it. But then I bought this new one. This is from CL, or CS Osborne and Company. They're out of Newark, New Jersey. And it's probably one of the oldest manufacturers, you know, in the state. But they still make really high quality shoe repair and tack repair, you know, for horse saddles and all that stuff. But, you know, all this stuff has got a story to tell. I'll go through some of this later and kind of show you guys. It's very, very interesting. Okay, we got the inside of the shoe all smooth. Just gonna put some glue in there. I put these new cork fillers in here. I've got to use a lot of glue. It holds just fine. Trying to figure out what side to put the glue on. Let this dry for a minute. You know, if you can see it, but I'm getting attacked by freaking little flies, man. It's the middle of March, but I guess it's getting warm. So these little jerks are attacking. Man, I hear a storm coming up. Me and my puppy Riley are out here hanging out. Hey Ry, what do you say we head inside? Looks like it's starting to rain or something out here. We got a bit of a storm coming. The trees are blowing like crazy out here. What do you say, Mama? Want to head inside? Got to give myself a little reminder to stitch this welt. It's a little loose. But man, you see these little flies zipping around? What the hell is going on? I was able to re-stitch this welt, just give it a little bit reinforcement, sanded it smooth, got it all squared away. I really should have done it before I put this cork in, but that's just a beginner's mistake. A lot of times you'd want to replace this midsole, but this was leather and in really good shape, so I decided to just keep it. So the glue's all set up. Now it's just a matter of mating these two together like that. Kind of doing this one hand. All right, I'll squeeze these together. And then we got a good surface for that new sole to attach to. Now we just do a quick pass on the 5-in-1 to press these two materials together, the welt and the midsole. Just ensures a good solid bond. Pretty cool. All right, time to glue these soles on, get them going. Coming down the last of this glue. The adhesives that they're using these days, man, this stuff I've never used before, back years ago when I was doing it. But man, oh man, it holds good. It really does. It sets up really good. Of course, it's a little stinky. God knows what the hell I'm breathing in. But there's a lot of old shoemakers around. There was a lot of old shoemakers around, and they were breathing this stuff for 50 years at a clip. They seem to be okay. with a bunch of crazy bastards, but maybe that's part of it. It's not like he's not a bad thing, so that's one. Put that off the dry side. But there's something kind of almost zen-like, man, about doing this kind of work. You know, when I'm just out here in the shed or in the shop, whatever the hell it is, just working away, it's kind of cool, man. You know, you just kind of get the task at hand, and it's very immediate. You know, you kind of get just a lot of satisfaction of bringing something back to life. You know, that means something to somebody. You know, these kicks, you know, have a life of their own if they could talk. You know, they really can tell you a story for sure, good and bad and ugly. So let's see if kind of getting to the bottom of the barrel here. And even this, the variety of materials that you can use for repairing is really grown over the years. You know, like I said before, I've been doing this for over 30 years. And I'm tripping out that I've kind of been able to fall right back into it and got the feel of it. I'm just making sure I pretty much get every little piece, because you don't want a gap in the glue to the midsole bond. You know, that's where you get, you know, water or whatever that stuff, you know, or just something that's might kind of break that seal a little bit. The next part after this is going to be quite the challenge, and I've been kind of looking forward to it and kind of having some anxiety about it. I've got this old stitcher that I'll be stitching these soles on, and you'll see it's a hell of a piece of machinery, man. You know, they pretty much have been unchanged probably since the turn of the century, and they're still making them to this day, but they're just a wild contraption, man. You know, they're loud, and you know, it's like a monster. But you know, when I was working years ago, man, you know, everything was based on stitching these soles on. So I just treated that thing like it was part of the family, you know, and in a way it was. You know, if that machine broke down, we were dead in the water. But luckily, man, I was always pretty much able to maintain it, keep it in good shape, and I cleaned up the one that I've got now. That actually I got from an old shoemaker in Brooklyn, sold the Asian guy, and I guess, you know, his shop ended up getting closed for COVID, which took a lot of people out. But you know, at least this stuff is going to good use. So we're going to carry on the tradition of shoe repair and just, you know, giving new life to old things. We all could use it. I know I could. So as you can see, this is a heck of a piece of equipment. That's all cast iron base. It's an amazing thing, man. Look at the inside of this. It's like the inside of an old hot rod motor with cams and followers and all these little oil cups that you gotta put some oil in there, keep this thing running smooth. It's got all these timing gears down here. That's just to stitch some soles on, man. It never ceases to amaze me how it works. And you think of that, somebody must have engineered this. No AI, no computer generated stuff, no nothing. So all that thread comes in, comes through this little pot down there with some lanolin kind of wax lubricant. It's something. So wish me luck. Oy. Round 3. Woo! Wow. Wow. That was mission mission accomplished, man. Holy crow, that's the first time I've stitched anything in over 30 years. And man, it felt good. I kind of boogered it up a little bit here, but let's see, I still get another one. So, holy moly, that's cool, man. Okay, I got the one done, the right one. Now it's on to the left. So let's see how this goes. I'm not counting my chickens until they're hatched on this one. So let's go. Wow, all the way around. How cool is that? Look at that. Man, I couldn't be happier. Could not be happier. I still got to kind of do a little bit of tweaking here and there, but that's on there. That's how it's supposed to look. I didn't shoot my eye out. That's cool, right? Look at that. Yay for me. And for Uncle Boo, whose shoes these are. One of the guys that works in the tattoo shop. He's been riding these hard and putting them away wet. So, gonna bring some new life to them. I'm happy, man. I'm really happy. Look at that. There we go. Well, let me tell you people, that was quite stressful. I've done a bunch of pair of shoes. I've been fixing a bunch of stuff, but I had yet to stitch them on that old stitcher. I was looking forward to it, but I was just nervous as all hell to actually get in there and do it. Those machines are real sensitive. They go out of adjustment easily, and they still might. But for the first time around, just added to my confidence, because I was still like, this might be a little bit, a little bit sketchy. No pun intended. But I couldn't be happier, man. So I'm gonna get a pair of heels on here, tighten these babies up, and deliver them. This is really cool, man. That used to give me more stress when I had my own shop of doing these, and I was doing like 12 to 15 pairs a day, just by myself. And it was a trip, man. I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. It taught me a lot about working hard, dealing with people, and trying to do something that you love. And that's what I'm trying to do now, man. Is just do something that I love. It's nice to be out here fooling around by myself, but in the tattoo shop, it's a real, communal thing. You got a bunch of people around, you're face to face or body to body with whoever you're tattooing, and I really enjoy that. But this is kind of cool, man. The solitude of this, just coming out here, fooling around, and now sharing it with you guys. So stay tuned. We got more going. Well, now that we got the sole on there, we'll do the heels. Same kind of thing. Just rough this up a little bit. It's smooth, but this can never hurt. Gives that glue a little something more to bite in. I'm actually just going to put a couple of nails in here just to tighten it up a little bit. Oops, bent that one. I'm trying. I don't know what I'm thinking. Hammered a bunch of nails 5 feet from my freaking motorcycle. If I catch one of these in my tire this year, I'm gonna freak out. Oops, man. What the heck is going on here? Alright, I'm okay. I think I'm still kind of flying because I got that damn sole all taken care of. Like I said before, man, it was stressing me the hell out. I can get it. So now that that's done, it's crazy, man. How sometimes just something, a little silly thing like that, it's just been kind of in the back of my mind for a while. I was like, oh man, you know, I hope this machine's working out okay. I hope I didn't buy a piece of junk and all that crap. But man, that's 1 out of 5. I'm really batting 1,000 here. Hands are too big. Everybody relax. All right, I give up. Gotta get my groove back, man. Gotta get my groove back. You probably don't even need this, but I'm just practicing and showing off too. I'm showing off my mad tacking skills. Right. When I was a shoemaker, everybody used to say I was a butcher. I'm a tattooer, and they call me a shoemaker. Hard one, but I got it done. Got to glue these guys up. While I'm waiting for these heels to dry, I'm just going to kind of clean up the uppers a little bit with this degreaser kind of stuff. Take some of the old polish off, wear and tear, get it down to clean leather so I can put a little conditioner on it, you know, a little polish, put a little color on it, and he's not going to recognize these boots. It's pretty darn cool. That's the whole idea, I guess. You know, it's not like you can fix them back to new, but they're actually better than new because they're already broken in. You know, they fit you like a glove or an old shoe. No pun intended, right? But it's cool, man. You know, there used to be, you know, 2 to 3 shoemakers in every town, or shoe repair. You know, there were shoemakers too, but you know, most guys are fixing shoes and, you know, putting holes in belts. And you know, I used to dye a bunch of shoes for wedding parties. You know, back in the day, you know, all the bridesmaids would get, you know, the same color dress, and they always wanted their shoes to be dyed to match the same thing. And I don't know if anybody does it anymore, but I used to do a lot of them, man. And you know, anytime I ever did any of that, I always tried to throw something in for free, or you know, put a little extra something on there for good luck for the bride and groom. You know, that's the thing, man. If you do something you like, and you like the people you're doing it for, and they appreciate what you're doing, that's, you know, that's a nice balance. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people that work in situations where they're not appreciated, or, you know, they don't particularly like what they're doing, but you're just trying to pay the bills, and man, I get it. But, you know, between tattooing and now this whole adventures in shoe repair, you know, it kind of it brings me back. You know, it's kind of nostalgic. You know, I certainly am into nostalgia. You know, I love old cars and old bikes, and I'm an old guy, so cool. Letting it dry. We'll put these heels on in a second and get them close to finish. So I'm just going to speed up the whole drying process with my trusty heat gun. Kind of does look like something that Buck Rogers would be using. But this just kind of helps it dry. Kind of softens everything up. I never used this thing before either, but I see a lot of people on YouTube using it. And it seems like it just helps with the whole bonding process. So, stick these guys on. Take that. Take that. Center it a little bit. The heels are a lot more forgiving than the soles, but these are a little oversized. I'm going to put them on the press too. Okay, we got those out of the press. Now I'm just going to give them a little bit more of a hammer. Make sure they're not going anywhere. And it just feels good to hit something. So. Back to the trusty lip knife. A little trim action. I'm still really excited, man, that I got that thing stitched. These guys stitched. That was really tripping me out since I got this equipment. You know, you just never know. You don't. It's like riding. Like, you know, I was hoping it would be like riding a bicycle. You know, you just get back on and figure it out. Because, like I said, I used to do, you know, sometimes 12, 15 pairs of shoes every day, like that, stitching them. But mostly men's like dress shoes. You know, in the 90s, guys were still wearing, you know, good dress shoes. But now everybody's pretty much on boots. So, pretty cool. Got it trimmed a little bit. Cool. Gonna try to do a couple more nails in here, just to hold them in a little bit, get them in this groove. See if I can pull this off like a pro. Nope. Embarrassing. All right, one more time. I'm a professional, I tell you. I'm a pro. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to cheat a little bit and just use an awl to give me a little starter hole. Hopefully that'll help the whole thing. How embarrassing. I can't even hammer a nail. And it says hammer and sole. Alright, there we go. Not going to go crazy with these, but a couple. And I'm going to countersink them once I get them in here. Oh boy. Alright. Oh boy. Come on. Oh, Jesus. Maybe I should rename this. Maybe I should rename this channel Big Ugly Guy Bending Nails. Come on. I give up. Okay, take 472 of how to nail heels on with the world famous Hammer and Sole YouTube channel. That's one. See if I can keep up the good thing. Here we go, hold on. Three's a charm, and then I'm turning the camera off and battle this thing in private. Well, there we go. See, talking too much, not paying attention to what the heck I'm doing. A little setting action. Okay, you get the idea. Jeez. Okay, final finishing. Just gonna clean up the sides and get this thing going. That's it. Good. Want to get the inside of that steel nice and crispy. Okay, we're coming down the home stretch. Now we're just going to put a little polish on these guys. Rejuvenate this leather, give it some nourishment. The sides of these soles and stuff were kind of natural, so I'm just going to keep that going by just putting this tan polish on here. You can see I'm not using a ton of it, I'm just kind of working it in there. We see the same thing at the tattoo shop. You know, people come in and get tattooed, and then they ask us how much ointment they should use on there, and we tell them less is more, you know. And most people listen, but sometimes you get somebody who just thinks, well, you know, I gotta put a bunch on there, you know, I don't want to have any issues. Then they come back and it's, you know, not in great shape, but it's basically because they just use too much stuff. So if you just kind of use the stuff sparingly, don't go too nuts with it, it'll work fine. And it looks even better, man. These shoes that are, you know, kind of got some age to them, you know, you don't want to try to make them, they're not going to look brand new. You know, it's you know, we repaired them. We're just giving them some new life. You know, they should last a couple of years. You know, it's pretty neat. You know, just with a little effort and kind of taking your time, you can really have some great results. I've been really having fun figuring all this new stuff out. You know, I'm totally starting from the ground up. You know, with videoing and all that stuff, but I've been inspired by a lot of people on YouTube and people just in my life that, you know, that don't talk about doing stuff, they do it. And I have great respect for anybody that does that, and that's what I'm trying to throw myself in with that too. Stop talking, get to doing. Because you never know where it's going to lead you, man. And honestly, I don't care where it's going to lead me. Just the act of doing this is what's important to me. Whatever happens, happens with it. I hope people enjoy it. But ultimately, it's to kind of help me through life. You know, just kind of keep on keeping on, man. So, got a good coat of there on that. Get a little hand brush on. You know, I don't go really too nuts with it, you know. But you can see, they come up pretty nice after a while. A little kind of dull shine on them. I might put a little edge dressing on these soles and heels too. They're looking a little light, but we'll see when I get them over. Another cool detail I've been seeing people on YouTube do is, you know, for all these little loose, frayed threads on here, they just hit them with a little lighter action. It's pretty darn cool. Actually, I never even thought to do this, but it just cleans it up. Makes it look even more finished. You know, just these little, you know, over time, you know, hopefully I won't burn the place to the ground, but it gives it a lot more finished kind of look when you're all done. These little fuzzies here and there, even there, you know what I mean? Like, I probably should have cut that off, but there's a little polyester in this thread, so it kind of burns easy. It kind of seals itself, you know what I mean? So much, so a little fuzzy right here. Probably end up lighting my beard on fire at some point, or my poor excuse for a beard. But I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's been quite an adventure starting this whole procedure. You know, the shoe thing is cool, but then kind of deciding to put it on YouTube. I see so many people that my wife and I watch at night, and you know, it's just regular people doing regular stuff, but everybody's got a little different take on it, and I just figured I might have something to offer everybody, you know? Trying to be a student of the universe. Not to sound like a darn hippy, but it's cool, you know? Just doing something that I normally haven't done. But like I said before, you know, people have been hitting me up for years, like, hey man, you still fixing shoes? Like, well, as a matter of fact, I do. So, there it is. So there you have it, everybody. That pair's all done, ready to go back home. Donkel Boo, like I said before, is a good guy. Gonna get a bunch of miles out of these. Stay tuned, and I can't thank everybody enough for all the support. Everybody's been really nice and leaving really cool comments and encouragement, which is really great. I'm hoping to do some different kind of videos too. You know, I love motorcycles and cars and hot rods and tattoos and all kinds of cool stuff. So I'd like to kind of show everybody all that. I've got some amazing people in my life that do some really creative stuff, and I'm lucky to have everybody. So thank you for watching. And if you're interested in getting something fixed, all the information is on my Instagram or on the page too. I don't know, I'm still trying to figure all that stuff out. So just bear with me, and we got a lot of cool stuff coming. It's gonna be a good summer. Yahoo, got 'em still.